is of the first expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So just to recap, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna, and then the first personal expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Balaram, and all the incarnations emanate from Lord Balaram, and from Shankarshan, who is none other than Lord Balaram, the material and the spiritual worlds manifest. Even though it's not created, the spiritual worlds are actually manifested by the supreme will of the Lord. And Lord Balaram is a constant companion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he appeared as Lord Lakshman as the younger brother in the Treta Yuga, and in the Dwapara Yuga he appears as the elder brother as Lord Balaram, and in Kali Yuga he appears as a constant companion, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, even though he does not appear as a brother, but Nityananda Prabhu appeared 12 years before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can appear. And it's a very unique position of Lord Balaram, because he serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead in all the 5 rasas. Rasas means relationships or mellows. So the 5 mellows are, first is Shanta Rasa, and then not in any particular order, but Shanta Rasa, we have Sakya Rasa, then we have Dasya Rasa, and we have Madhurya Rasa, and then we have Vatsalya Rasa. So we'll go through what each one of these rasas means, so that we get a better understanding of how Lord Balaram serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Shanta Rasa means it is passive adoration, or the mellow of neutrality. So passive adoration or mellow of neutrality. So Lord Balaram expands as Vrindavan Dham. Lord Balaram expands as the personal paraphernalia of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Balaram expands as the crown of Lord Krishna, as the flute of Lord Krishna, as the bed of Lord Krishna, as the ornaments of Lord Krishna. So this is how Lord Balaram serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the mellow of neutrality or passive adoration. And the second rasa that he serves is Sakya Rasa. Sakya means friend. So how does Lord Balaram serve Lord Krishna as a friend? And we read this in Srimad Bhagavatam, the wonderful games that Lord Balaram, Lord Krishna and all these cowherd boys play. And some of these games are fascinating to know from Srimad Bhagavatam. They throw one fruit up, and then they hit that fruit with another fruit. And then they slap each other in the shoulder, and then they run behind each other to catch that person. And then they mimic the birds and animals. So these are wonderful games that they play together, and it is said that Lord Balaram plays with Lord Balaram plays with Lord Krishna and with the cowherd boys in the form in this mood of Sakya Rasa. Sometimes he also accepts service from Lord Krishna as a friend would accept. Even though Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna personally massages Balaram's feet, he fans him, he brings cold, nice, refreshing river water. Lord Krishna brings it to Lord Balaram, and then he praises Lord Balaram as well. All these wonderful trees in Vrindavan are all bending down because it's overburdened by this heaviness of these fruits and flowers. And then Lord Krishna says, see, all these trees are wonderfully bending down to offer respectful obeisances to you. And all these birds are just humming, surrounding Lord Balaram. And then Lord Krishna is saying how they are all sages, and they are singing the glories of Lord Balaram, and how these peacocks are dancing in glorification of Lord Balaram, and these does are all offering this sidelong glances like how these gopis offer, and they are all glorifying Lord Balaram, and how the cuckoos are singing wonderful prayers from Vedas glorifying Lord Balaram. And Lord Krishna also says how the earth is actually so fortunate because the lotus feet of Lord Balaram is touching the earth, and also how that the mountains and the rivers and the lakes are all so fortunate because of the glance that they are getting from Lord Balaram. So Deva Chetrani Tirthani Darshana Sparshanarchanai Sanai Punanti Kaleva Tadapi Artha Mekshya. Here it is said, Shrutadeva is explaining that if one is worshipping the deities, worshipping the holy dhams, worshipping the holy rivers, then gradually we get purified. But when we get the glance of a great personality, then the purification is immediate. So here Lord Krishna is praising Lord Balaram because of his glance. The rivers and the trees and the mountains are so fortunate just by Lord Balaram looking at them. So this is how Lord Balaram is serving Lord Krishna in the form of Sakya, as a friend. And Lord Balaram also serves Lord Krishna in the mellow of being a servant, Dasya Rasa. So how does he serve in the mellow of a servant, even though he's an elder brother? So Lord Balaram is the elder brother of Lord Krishna, but he's serving as a servant, because that is our constitutional position. Jivere Swarupe Hare Krishna Nityadas. And Lord Balaram is actually showing this by his example. An example that we know is in the 50th chapter of the 10th canto, Jarasandha is attacking Mathura once, twice, third time, fourth time. So 17 times Jarasandha attacks Mathura, and he's been defeated thoroughly in spite of this big army that he's coming with. And every time Lord Krishna does not kill Jarasandha. He says, go back. Why? So that he can bring more of these demons, so that all of them can be annihilated. Because that's the that is what Krishna came here for. Paritranaya sadhudam vinashaya chadushkritam, to protect the devotees and to annihilate the miscreants. So he wants more and more miscreants to come so that he can annihilate them. So on the 18th time, just before Jarasandha comes, Kalyavana comes. So Jarasandha sends another dreaded demon by the name of Kalyavana, and he comes with 30 million barbaric soldiers. And Lord Krishna orders Balaram, I am going to create Dwaraka instantaneously, and I am going to move all the residents of Mathura by my Yogamaya potency into this Dwaraka, and you, my elder brother, stay outside Mathura and protect Mathura when I am going to go inside and fight with Kalyavana. So even though Lord Balaram is the elder brother, Lord Krishna orders him, I want you to protect, like a watchman, I want you to stay and protect Mathura from any more attacks, because Jarasandha may come from the other side. Because if both of us are fighting Kalyavana, then Jarasandha will come from the other side. So I want you to protect Mathura by staying in the outskirts. So that is how he serves in the mood of a servant. We know is when Salva, there is a dreaded a demon by the name of Salva. He was a friend of Jarasandha, and he's a friend of Shishupal as well. And when Lord Krishna is in Indraprastha for the Rajasuya Yajna by Yudhishthir Maharaj, and during the Rajasuya Yajna, Shishupal has already been killed, and by this time the war is over. The Kurukshetra war is over, which means the 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita is already spoken. So at this time, because Shishupal is killed and because Jarasandha is already killed, Krishna knew that Salva, who is the best friend of Shishupal and Jarasandha, is going to attack Dwaraka, because Krishna has already moved from Mathura to Dwaraka when this pastime is taking place. And Lord Krishna immediately calls for his chariot driver, who is Daruka, and gets his 4 horses, and then immediately Lord Krishna is going from Indraprastha to Dwaraka to protect Dwaraka from the attack of Salva. But again, what does he do? Balaram, my dear elder brother, I want you to stay in the outskirts of Dwaraka as a watchman to protect Dwaraka when I go inside and fight with Salva. So here, even though Balaram is elder brother, he is serving as a servant, taking the orders of Lord Krishna, first to protect Mathura and now to protect Dwaraka. So that is Shantarasa, Shakyarasa, Dasyarasa, and then there are 2 other mellows in which he actually serves. One is Vatsalya Rasa. Vatsalya Rasa is paternal love in that mellow. So how does he serve in the paternal mellow? We read from Nectar of Devotion, where Lord Balaram is ordering Subal, his friend, I want you to go and tell Krishna in the palace of Nanda Maharaj that he cannot go to Kalya lake today because it's his birthday, which is appearance day, and myself and Mother Yasoda are going to give him bath. You know, little boys, the parents give bath, so he takes the role of a parent and he is going to give bath along with Mother Yasoda. He says, that's an order. Make sure that Krishna cannot go from the home, from the house. So so he serves. This is an example of Lord Balaram serving in the mellow of Vatsalya Rasa as a parent. And how does he serve in the mood of conjugal relationship, which is Madhurya Rasa, is that Lord Balaram expands as Ananga Manjari, who's the sister of Srimati Radharani, and Lord Balaram serves in that way. Lord Krishna. So for those of you who joined us late, we started out by discussing who's Lord Balaram.
You can give us some we should say website, etc. We will study it.
Yeah. So we discussed about who's Lord Balaram and how does Lord Balaram serve Lord Krishna in all the 5 rasas. And what about the form of Lord Balaram? So Lord Balaram's form is clearly, beautifully described in our Vedic literatures, Srimad Bhagavatam especially, as to how he's got this handsome hair tied in this beautiful, graceful knot on top, and he always wears this blue color clothing because he's always thinking of Lord Krishna. He always wears this blue clothing, and because of his color, which is like crystal, surrounded by this blue clothing, our Acharya has explained it's like the full moon, which is silver in color, which is there seen in the background of a blue sky, cloudless sky. So such a beautiful feature of Lord Balaram, and how his earrings are actually long enough to touch his cheeks, and also how he's wearing a musk tilak, and he's wearing wonderful necklaces and garlands, and especially the garland is made of forest flowers, especially with berries that are black, white and red. And our Acharyas explain black, white and red because those berries are native to Vrindavan. And of course he's wearing this blue garments that is so beautiful. What about, what does it mean, what is the meaning of Balaram? So this explanation is given once by Lord Krishna and once by Garga Muni when he is naming Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. So Bala means strength, extraordinary strength, as we heard how Ananta says, Anantas Chasmi Naganam. In the 29th verse of the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains, Anantas Chasmi Naganam. Amongst the many hooded snakes, I am Anantasesh. So here, because of this extraordinary strength of Anantasesh, where he's holding all these millions and millions and billions of universes, which are like the small white mustard seeds, he is Bala. Bala means extraordinary strength. It's not just physical strength, but extraordinary spiritual strength as well, which is the real meaning of Bala. And Rama means giving pleasure to everybody. So that's the meaning of Balaram. And there are and he's also called as Shankarshan. There are 2 different meanings that is given in Srimad Bhagavatam as to what is the meaning of Shankarshan. One is Lord Krishna is explaining to Yogamaya that Shankarshan means because Balaram is forcibly taken from the womb of Devaki, so Rohini, he is called as Shankarshan. And also Garga Muni is explaining the meaning of Shankarshan. It is because he gives pleasure, or he unites both the families. And who are the 2 families? Nanda Maharaj's family and Vasudev's family. So that is why he is called as Shankarshan. And the other names of Lord Balaram or Dauji, he is also called as Dauji. Dauji means elder brother. He is also called as Rohini Nandan because he is the Nandan of Rohini. He is also called as Balabhadra. Balabhadra means one with extraordinary strength. So that is a little bit about who Lord Balaram is, how he serves in all the 5 mellows to Lord Krishna, and then the form of Lord Balaram, and also what is the meaning of Balaram, and also the other names of Lord Balaram. And now we will hear the actual pastime from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is from the 2nd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th canto, about the actual appearance of Lord Balaram. Because today is the appearance day of Lord Balaram. It's very, very auspicious that we hear these wonderful narrations from Srimad Bhagavatam, because we even though we have heard this many times, as we discussed, it is ever fresh. Anytime we hear that, it's always fresh and new. So once when Devaki and Vasudeva got married, they were actually being driven in the chariot by Devaki's brother Kamsa. Actually Devaki's cousin brother, because Devaki's father was Devaka, and Kamsa's father is Ugrasen. Ugrasen and Devaka are brothers. Therefore, Devaki and Kamsa are considered brothers and sisters, but they are actually cousin brothers and sisters. So it is a custom of the brother to take the sister to the in-laws' house after they get married. So here Kamsa is actually driving the chariot with Devaki and Vasudeva, and he's taking them to the in-laws' house, or he's taking the sister to the in-laws' house, which is Vasudeva's house and palace actually. So at that time, this wonderful musical instruments are being played, and during that time there is a miraculous sound, that is voice that is heard from the sky, and it said, "You fool Kamsa, you are driving this chariot with your sister and your brother-in-law, but you don't know that the 8th child of your sister is going to be your killer." So immediately Kamsa grabs the hair of Devaki, takes his sword, and is about to cut her head off. Here Kamsa is being preached by Vasudeva about, you can say, the summarized version of the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, as to how, you know, everything is temporary, we are not the body but we are the soul. So Vasudeva tries his level best to change the mind of Kamsa so that he does not kill his own sister. But it is actually not going the way that Vasudeva wants. So then he says, the voice did not say that your sister is going to kill you. The miraculous voice said, it's the 8th son of your sister who's going to kill you. So there is no immediate danger right now. So I will bring each and every son who is born, if they are born. We don't even know that I will have children and whether I'll have 8 children. But as and when every child is born, I will bring them to you. But as of now, there is no immediate threat. And how can you kill your own sister, Kamsa? So Vasudeva is preaching, this is your own sister, and she's a lady, because women should not be killed. According to Vedic literature, women, old man, Brahmin, a child and a cow cannot be killed. So here he's saying, you're a king and you are armed and you're trying to kill this unarmed person, and this unarmed person is actually a woman, and more importantly, this unarmed person is your sister, and more importantly, this unarmed person who's your sister is actually just married, and you want to kill. So finally he's able to convince Kamsa, because Kamsa knows that Vasudeva is man of words. When he says he'll bring each and every child to him to take the action, he will bring. So he releases both of them. And in due course of time, Vasudeva and Devaki, they have their first child, and the first child is called as Kirtiman. And our acharyas explain, because usually name giving ceremony is later on. So in this case, the name is given immediately to the son, and his son's name is Kirtiman. And then Vasudeva brings the newborn baby to Kamsa. Here, I am keeping my word, you can do whatever you want with this little baby. And Kamsa is actually very pleased. He says, you have kept your word, and now I know for sure the prophecy was that the 8th child of yours or my sisters will kill me, but this is just the first child, so take this child away. But then Vasudeva knows that you cannot depend on what Kamsa is saying. He may change his mind, so he was always cautious what might happen. And what happened, the trigger for Kamsa to change his mind came from Narada Muni. And Narada Muni said, in a circle you don't know where it's starting, where it's ending, which is first, second, which child may kill you. And by the way, in the previous life you were Kalanemi, the great demon who came on a line with a Trishul, and you got killed by Lord Vishnu. He's your enemy. And by the way, all the demigods have already taken their birth in Andhaka and Yadu dynasties, so you're in big trouble. So don't take a chance. Kill the child and all the children who will be born. Don't take a chance. So immediately Kamsa kills Kirtiman by slamming his head onto the rock. He kills, and he arrests Vasudeva and Devaki, puts them in jail, and he captures the whole Andhaka Yadu dynasty, even dethroning his own father Ugrasen. And our acharyas explain as to why Narada Muni did this. You may be thinking, why Narada Muni will say, go ahead and kill the actually elder brother of Lord Krishna or Lord Balaram. And actually this happened not just for the first son. The second child was born, and then Kamsa again takes the child and kills the child as well, in the same way, slamming the head against the rock. So similarly, all the 6 sons of Devaki were killed by Kamsa, and that was instigated by Narada Muni. Even though Kamsa had that in his mind, it was actually propelled or triggered for that was Narada Muni's instruction. So why did Narada Muni do this? He's a great personality, devotee of the Lord. Why would he say kill these 6 brothers? So our Acharya has explained that the 6 sons of Devaki are the 6 Sadgarbhas. They call as 6 Sadgarbhas, 6 Garbhas, and they are representing the lust, anger, greed, envy, pride and illusion. In one way, when all this lust, anger, greed, envy, pride and illusion are removed from our heart, then only Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna will manifest. And who are these 6 elder brothers of Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna? They are actually great personalities. They are 6 sons of Marichi. Marichi is the mind-born son of Lord Brahma. And once when Lord Brahma was actually attracted to his daughter, they were laughing and they were cursed to become the 6 sons of a demon named Kalanemi. And who's Kalanemi? Kalanemi is the son of Hiranyakashipu. So we know of Prahlad Maharaj, the great personality, great devotee of the Lord, as the son of Hiranyakashipu, but he had many other sons. And one of the sons is Kalanemi. And Kalanemi had these 6 boys who were actually the former 6 sons of Marichi, the mind-born sons. And then when they were sons of Kalanemi, which means when they were grandsons of Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu wanted everybody to chant Hiranyakashipuvaya Namaha. But then here they were actually meditating on Lord Brahma. They were performing severe austerities for Lord Brahma. And when Hiranyakashipu knew that, he came and cursed them. Because you are not following my instructions, not worshipping me, but you are worshipping Lord Brahma. And because your father Kalanemi allowed you to do this, in the next life, your father Kalanemi himself will kill you. So Kalanemi became Kamsa, and he is killing the 6 sons of Devaki, which is his sister's son, which is almost like his son. So our Acharya has explained this wonderfully well. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Sridhar Swami explained as to what is the history of the 6 elder brothers of Lord Balaram. So eventually, Lord Balaram appears in the womb of Devaki, and at that time Lord Krishna instructs Yogamaya to transfer Lord Balaram from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini, and that was the reason he was called as Shankarshan. And when he was transferred, it looked like Devaki had a miscarriage, and that's what Kamsa also thought. But actually, Lord Balaram was transferred from the womb of Devaki to Rohini, and Rohini was safe in the palace of Nanda Maharaj, and there she gave birth to Lord Balaram. Lord Balaram ki. So that's a wonderful appearance of Lord Balaram, and eventually as the 8th son of Devaki, Lord Krishna appeared. Now we will hear some of the glorious pastimes, and the number of pastimes of Lord Balaram are unlimited. Just like he's got unlimited hoods, the pastimes of Lord Balaram are unlimited. Just in Srimad Bhagavatam itself, the famous pastimes that most of you would have heard is starting off with the 15th chapter, which is Dhenukasura pastime. Then in the 18th chapter, Pralambasura pastime is there. And then in the 44th chapter, when Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram are going to kill Kamsa, the wrestling match goes on. There is this wonderful pastime. And then Lord Balaram killing Rukmi, which is in the 61st chapter. I'm giving some chapter names so that even if you are not able to cover today, you can go home and relish these wonderful pastime. And the 67th chapter is the Dvivida pastime, the 8th pastime, which we will cover today. And then it goes on how we killed Romaharshana Sutta, and how we went on this pilgrimage. Balaram went to Kaveri river, he took bath in Kaveri river, he went to Srirangam temple and he visited Ranganath temple, Lord Ranganath, he went to Tirupati Balaji temple. All that is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So there is a benediction for all of us to obtain when we hear this pastime. So instead of me telling you that, I will read it from Srimad Bhagavatam, just the English translation, the 10th canto, 79th chapter, and the verse is 34. This is the last verse in this chapter. The title of this chapter is Lord Balaram Goes on Pilgrimage. So the translation is, all the activities of the unlimited Lord Balaram are amazing. Anyone who regularly remembers them at dawn and dusk will become very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Vishnu. So I'm going to read this again. All the activities of the unlimited Lord Balaram are amazing. Anyone who regularly remembers them at dawn and dusk will become very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Vishnu. So with your permission, I would like to narrate some of these pastimes. So why don't we start off with the pastime that we may not have heard very often. So you may have heard this Dhenukasura pastime, Pralambasura pastime. So why don't we start off with the pastime of the gorilla called as Dvivida. So this is a fascinating pastime from the 67th chapter of the 10th canto. There is a gorilla or the ape by the name of Dvivida. D-V-I, Dvivida. And this gorilla was actually an associate of Lord Ramachandra. So this is fascinating because Lord Ramachandra appeared in Treta Yuga, and Treta Yuga was almost 1.2 million years long, and Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna appeared in Dwapara Yuga, which is 430 to 864,000 years. So when you put 1.2 plus 864, it's almost 2 million years old. So this is mind-boggling beyond what we can comprehend. But this Dvivida was living from Lord Ramachandra's time, and he was a wonderful associate of Lord Ramachandra. So he helped Lord Ram fight against Ravana. So that our Acharyas explained that in Srimad Bhagavatam. But this is an example of how one falls down when they do not recognize the wonderful devotee of the Lord or great personality, and also the result of bad association. So Dvivida fell down because he was wonderfully worshipping Lord Ramachandra, but he did not have great regards for Lord Lakshman. So he did not think that Lord Lakshman was potent, was a great personality, but he always worshipped Lord Ramachandra, ignoring Lord Lakshman. And our Acharyas explained that was the reason why he fell down, because he did not recognize Lord Lakshman. And it accelerated, the fall down was accelerated when he had bad association of Narakasura. And Narakasura had a bad association of the son of Bali Maharaj, Banasura, who had 1,000 arms. So bad association as well as not respecting a great personality, right, Lord Lakshman, made him fall down. Made him fall down means he became demoniac in his mind. And there is also a parallel incident I would like to draw. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is a great personality by the name of Meenaketan Ramadas. He was a great devotee of Nityananda Prabhu, who is none other than Lord Balaram. So now Meenaketan Ramadas, even though he is a great devotee of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he was a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well. But then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who is the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, had a younger brother by the name of Shyamananda Das, and he was also worshipping only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he ignored Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And once Meenaketan Ramadas was exalted, and we read that from Chaitanya Charitamrita that when somebody is offering obeisances, he climbs on top of them in ecstasy. And he's got a flute in his hand and he beats all the devotees mildly in ecstasy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. His eyes are always swelling with so much of water in ecstasy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So when Shyamananda Das, who is none other than the younger brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, invited this Meenaketan Ramadas to his house, there was a priest who was offering wonderful worship. And that priest, his name was Gunarnava Mishra. He did not respect Nityananda Prabhu nor Meenaketan Ramadas. And at that time, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami talked to his brother, and he said, "You will fall down if you don't respect Meenaketan Ramadas, who is a great devotee of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who is none other than Lord Balaram." And he said, this is like the logic of hen. You know, when there is a hen, you can't say, I will take the front end of the hen, I will kill, I don't want the second part of the hen. So the logic given by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is this half-hen logic. So the lesson here is equal potency of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Equal potency of Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, because Lord Balaram is the first expansion of Lord Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada explains the difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram is just in their color. Lord Krishna is blackish blue and Lord Balaram is whitish crystal color. So in these two examples we see that when we don't offer respectful obeisances, or we don't have the spiritual eyes to see the glorious virtues of great devotees, and in this case Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we will fall down. So that is the message here. So this Dvivida fell down, and what he was doing, he was performing all these demoniac deeds, and they are, he goes to the ocean of Prabhasa, which is close to Dwaraka, and he actually, with his palm-sized arms, he is churning the ocean so that the neighboring coastal lines are all inundated. Now in the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we read the pastime of Kartavira Arjun. Does that name ring a bell? Kartavira Arjun. So he is one great personality who had 1,000 arms, so 500 right hand, 500 left arm. And he was stopping the flow of Narmada. Narmada was flowing with so much force, and he stopped the flow of Narmada with his massive hands, and there was so much of flooding in the coastal areas, and somebody that we know was vacationing in the coastal area. And who's that? Ravana was actually vacationing with all the girlfriends in the coastal area, and it all got inundated. And Ravana came to fight with Kartavira Arjun, and Kartavira Arjun was so powerful. We all know Ravana is so powerful, but just imagine the power of Kartavira Arjun from Srimad Bhagavatam. He captures Ravana, puts him in jail, and then later on releases him negligently, like how you release a monkey from a cage. Exactly, it says in Srimad Bhagavatam. How you release a monkey from a cage? Oh, like that. So that is the power of Kartavira Arjun. So here, Dvivida is actually churning the ocean so that the coastal areas are all inundated. And what he does is he takes all these saints and sages and then he puts them in caves, and he closes the cave's mouth with boulders. Boulders means you can think of it in the size of this room. Because he's such a powerful gorilla, huge gorilla, he takes these stones and closes the mouth so that they're all dead inside, they can't come out. And he contaminates all this sacrificial fires that these sages are creating. And then he was causing all sorts of mischiefs. And then when Lord Balaram was there with the other, his gopi friends, he was showing some obscene gestures according to Srimad Bhagavatam. And what does Lord Balaram do? Takes his club. Name of the club, anybody? Sunanda. So he takes his club and he hits this giant gorilla who is Dvivida. And there's blood coming from the head of Dvivida, but he's not dead, he's so strong. And Srila Prabhupada explained that it looks like there is a red oxide that is flowing in a mountain. And here this gorilla is so angry, then he starts uprooting oak trees from where it was. This was in the Raivataka mountains in the Dwaraka area. So he takes all these oak trees, which are huge, oak trees are very big. And then he's easily able to uproot them, strip them of all the leaves, and then he hurls it on Lord Balaram. So one by one, and Lord Balaram has got this Sunanda club, and then he's blocking it away. So one by one, each one of those trees are uprooted, and the whole forest had no trees according to Srimad Bhagavatam. And then what he does, he starts taking the big boulders, the size of this room, and he starts throwing at Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram has got this Sunanda club, and he's hitting this boulder that is coming at full force, and this boulder shatters into hundreds of pieces and goes in the direction that it's thrown. And Srila Prabhupada explains that this is the origin of all the bat ball games. You know, the baseball game, when the ball is thrown, you hit with the bat, you know, against the speed of this ball, and how you hit cricket sixers and home runs. Srila Prabhupada explains this is the origin of bat ball games. They started off with Lord Balaram hitting these stones, giant boulders that were thrown by Dvivida the monkey. And then finally, he comes and he slaps, actually Dvivida comes and slaps Lord Balaram, and Lord Balaram throws the club because he wants to have the even fight. When he's unarmed, why would Lord Balaram have the club? So he throws the club and then strikes him on the collarbone, and then Dvivida falls down, and the whole of Raivataka mountain was actually having an earthquake because of the size and the weight of this Dvivida, the monkey or the gorilla. So the lesson that we learn from this wonderful pastime according to our acharyas is that Dvivida represents, we all have Dvivida in our heart. Dvivida represents the nature to find fault with others, or not having the spiritual eyes to see the glorious qualities of Vaishnavas, just nitpicking, looking at, like Srila Prabhupada explains, you want to be a bee or you want to be a fly. So fly always goes to all the pus and sore in everybody's body, but a bee always goes and takes all this wonderful nectar from flowers, even though the flower is in the filthy area. So here the lesson here is Lord Balaram destroys the propensity that we may have in our mind as to how we ignore the wonderful qualities of Vaishnava, how we are not able to recognize the wonderful nectarian qualities of Vaishnava, because Dvivida did not recognize and offer worship to great personality, which is Lord Lakshmana. So that is wonderful pastime of Dvivida. And then there is also this wonderful pastime of how Lord Balaram killed Rukmi. So Rukmi is the brother of goddess of fortune Rukmini Devi, and he had bad association. He had association with Jarasandha, he had association with Kamsa. Who's Jarasandha, by the way? Do you remember Jarasandha? Jarasandha is the father-in-law of Kamsa. So there are two wives of Kamsa, and both are daughters of Jarasandha. Here Rukmi had very bad association with Jarasandha, Shishupal, and therefore he wanted his sister Rukmini to get married to Shishupal. And it's a long, wonderful pastime. Eventually, Rukmini sent this love letter, or the letter of intent, with 7 wonderful verses through a Brahmin to Lord Krishna, and she says, "Come and marry me in the Rakshasa style of marriage," which means you can come and kidnap me and get me married. So Lord Krishna follows the instructions. Lord Krishna comes in his chariot driven by Daruka, and then he takes Rukmini and he goes back, and Rukmi is so angry, he goes to fight with Lord Krishna to bring back his sister, and then Rukmi is thoroughly defeated, and Lord Krishna, what does he do? Lord Krishna expertly leaves only a small portion of hair on his head, small portion of his beard in his cheek, small portion of mustache in his above the lips. So this is a very bad thing to do to a Kshatriya. So that is exactly what Lord Krishna did to Rukmi, because he didn't want to kill him, because Rukmini said, "Please don't kill my brother." So the next best thing that Lord Krishna can do is to dishonor a Kshatriya. So dishonor is worse than a death for Kshatriya. According to the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we read, dishonor for a Kshatriya is worse than a death. So here he's totally dishonored. He's so distraught that this is worse than death for him. He's so disgraced, because just imagine a piece of hair here in front of all the people that he's ruling. So this had happened. And then many years later, Rukmi is actually challenging Lord Balaram for a game of dice. And he says, on the instigation of King of Kalinga. So here, King of Kalinga is instigating Rukmi have a dice match with Balaram. So Lord Balaram accepts the challenge, because he's also Kshatriya. Kshatriyas are supposed to accept the challenge, not to say, "No, we don't do that." So he accepts the challenge, and then the first round of bet, which is the wager, is 100 gold coins, 1000 gold coins, and 10,000 gold coins. And then who wins the first round? Rukmi wins. And then at that time, the king of Kalinga laughs with all the teeth showing. So this is a little bit funny in Srimad Bhagavatam, what we read. It is said that when the king of Kalinga laughed with all the teeth showing, something like that. And it is said that Lord Balaram could not tolerate it. So maybe that's why we also don't tolerate somebody laughing like that, So King of Kalinga laughed with all the teeth showing, and then Lord Balaram could not tolerate it. This was The first time. The second wager was 100,000 gold coins, and this time Balaram won. Lord Balaram won, and Rukmi started lying. I won this. Balaram lost. And then Balaram, it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that he was so angry, and he was so angry like the ocean on a full moon, how the ocean is in turbulence, like that he was angry. Even though Lord Balaram won, Rukmi said no, he won. And in the third round, the bet was 100 million gold coins, and again Lord Balaram won, and again Rukmi said, I won. And at that time, there was this miraculous voice. We heard about the voice when Devaki and Vasudev got married and they were going. So again, another miraculous voice said, no, Rukmi is lying, Lord Balaram won. And in spite of that, Rukmi started, blaspheming Lord Balaram. What do you know about dice game? You're all cowherd boys. You take care of cows and calves. This dice game is for royal people like me. I am a king. And Kalinga, king of Kalinga, said, what do you know about dice game? Then Lord Balaram was just keeping quiet. Then quietly took this, the club called as Sunanda. One shot on his head. Rukmi died on the spot. So again, our Acharyas teach. Oh, and by the way, this king of Kalinga who laughed with all the teeth showing, it is said in 10 steps, he caught hold of king of Kalinga and he smashed his teeth. All the teeth fell down. So Lord Balaram did that. So from this wonderful pastime, our Acharyas teach us that Rukmi represents the greed that all of us have for material wealth. So because Rukmi was greedy, that is why he was lying. And it is also the propensity that we may have, that is to lie to get this wealth. So when we pray to Lord Balaram, we pray so that these propensities, these demoniac propensities that we have, Rukmi-like propensity that we have in our heart, is shattered by Lord Balaram so that we can perform pure devotional service. So there are so many other ones. Maybe we'll take some questions and some comments in the next few minutes. There's one more pastime that I would like to narrate is the Romaharshana pastime. So the Romaharshana was not from a Brahminical family, but he was elected by the saints and sages to be the head sage when they were doing this long fire sacrifice. And when Lord Balaram left everything, fighting is over, he quit all the fighting, and then when he was walking by to the Naimisharanya forest, this Romaharshana did not give any respect to Lord Balaram, nor for the sages who were there. And then Lord Balaram, what he did, he just took a kusa grass, one kusa grass, it's like a grass, and he touched Romaharshana, and then immediately he died. So, to kill somebody for the right reason by these great personalities, you don't need weapons, big sharp weapons or powerful guns. He just took grass and he touched him, and then Romaharshana died. And we know in the Nala and Damayanti pastime that we hear from Mahabharata, when Damayanti was there trapped in the forest, there was this lusty hunter who came, and at that time she just saw she was just staring at this lusty hunter, and this lusty hunter burned to death. And also when the son of Anga and Suniti, his name is Veena, the most demoniac personality, when Veena was ruling the land in the most dreaded way, he was killing all these saints and sages. At that time, this great personality came and they just chanted some mantras, and when the mantras were chanted, Veena died. So you don't need any weapons for these great personalities to kill anybody. So immediately after Romaharshana was killed, then the saints and sages said, we elected him as to be the head sage, and we gave him the blessing that he's going to live for many, many years, so long period of time, but now you have killed him. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but your first expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but you have to set an example. You have killed a person who we elected as the great sage. Then Lord Balaram took a humble position and he said, whatever you Brahmins say, I will do. And then the Brahmin said, you have to go around Bharatvarsha, go visit all the holy places, all the holy rivers for 1 full year. That will be like a prashchitta for what you have done. And they also said, but what about our benediction that we gave? We said that he's going to live long, but you have killed him with the kusa grass. So we don't want you to change that. It's a catch-22 situation. The saints and sages are telling Lord Balaram, you killing Romaharshana with the kusa grass, let it stay as it is. But you also have to make sure that the promise that we gave, the benediction that we gave to him to live long should be true. How can that be possible? How can you eat the cake as well as have the cake? But then Lord Balaram said the son represents the father, and the son is actually an expansion of the father. So therefore he put Suta Goswami there in place of Romaharshana, and he gave him all the potency so that he lives much longer. So Romaharshana's son is Suta Goswami, who narrated what he had heard from Sukdev Goswami later on. So that, from this wonderful pastime, what does Romaharshana represent? Romaharshana's Suta actually represents power, pride and position according to our acharyas, and we do have that in our heart as well, power, pride and position, and not respecting other Vaishnavas and doing Vaishnava aparadh. So when we pray to Lord Balaram, the Lord Balaram destroys the propensity in our heart, the Romaharshanas that we have in our heart. So there are many wonderful pastimes as we heard, Dhenukasura pastime, Pralambasura pastime is there. Wonderful pastimes are there. From just the summary from the Dhenukasura pastime, Dhenukasura represents mass material knowledge according to our acharyas and lack of spiritual knowledge. So just like donkeys, we carry a lot of unwanted things which could be material in nature, material pleasures. So when we worship Lord Balaram, then Lord Balaram kills Dhenukasuras in our heart so that we are on the path of spiritual perfection. So in summary, Lord Balaram also carries this plow. Have you seen Lord Balaram carrying a plow in the pictures? So plow, when do you use a plow? When you're plowing, there you see, beautiful, thank you. So the plow, when you plow a field, when you sow a seed, when you plow, you aerate that area so that there is growth. So the seed of bhakti is given to us by the mercy of the spiritual master and by Lord Krishna. Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. So the seed of devotional service is given to us by the mercy of the spiritual master and by Lord Krishna, and by the mercy of Balaram we get the spiritual strength to progress in this path of perfection. So just like he uses the plow to aerate, or plow is used to aerate so that there is growth, our spiritual growth is dependent on us worshipping Lord Balaram and by the mercy that we can get from Lord Balaram. Balaram Jayanti ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I was curious to know why Lord Balaram is called Rama. Why is he called Rama?
So it's a good question. Just to repeat, why Lord Balaram is called as Rama. So as we heard, Lord Balaram, the name of Lord Balaram is explained to us twice in Srimad Bhagavatam. One by Lord Krishna himself when he is instructing Yogamaya to transfer Lord Balaram from the womb of Devaki to Rohini, and he's explaining this Balaram's name is Bala plus Rama. Bala means the strength, the extraordinary strength that he's got, carrying all these unlimited universes in this unlimited hoods, as well as Rama means is pleasure giver. He gives pleasure to the devotees, pleasure to the inhabitants of Vraj. So Rama means pleasure giver, and Srila Prabhupada explains when we are chanting the Maha Mantra, when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the Rama here is the pleasure potency of the Lord, and when we chant the name of Rama, we are worshipping Lord Balarama, as well as we are worshipping Lord Ramachandra, as well as we are worshipping Lord Parashurama. So all the three Ramas are included in that. So Rama again is the person who gives pleasure to others. So that is the explanation that is given by Lord Krishna himself, and also by Garga Muni when he is giving the name to Lord Krishna and to Lord Balaram, the explanation is given as to what Balaram stands for, as well as what Shankarshan stands for. That's another name of Lord Balaram. Shankarshan means, Lord Krishna explains to Yogamaya that it's forcibly transferred from the womb of Devaki to Rohini. But when Garga Muni is explaining, he does not want to tell this secret to Nanda Maharaj. So there he's saying, because he unites both the families, Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev, he is called as Shankarshan. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Yes,
There's a very small question. You did quite well. Can you tell why Lord Krishna used to like yellow clothes and Lord Balaram blue clothes? Just, you can give a hint here.
Anybody can answer this question? So the question is, why Lord Balaram likes blue and why Lord Krishna likes golden, yellow or golden. So we can tell why Lord Balaram likes blue, and that is because Lord Krishna is blue, blackish blue color. That is why his clothing is blue, because he's always wrapped in this consciousness of Lord Krishna. So that is why he uses blue, and some of us are wearing blue because it's Balaram Jayanti today. And as we heard, our Acharya has explained the beauty of Lord Balaram is like the moon, because he's crystal color. The moon in a blue sky without cloud. That is how he looks, because he's always wrapped in the consciousness of Lord Krishna, who is blackish blue in color.
Question.
What's the question? So we'll probably try to answer that question.
Even Mahabharata, when we read, when they Mahamunis saw Lord Krishna, when one was going in the forest actually. So the Mahamuni, Markandeya Rishi told that I saw him at the time of Mahapralaya. He was wearing yellow clothes.
Yeah. So we know that he always likes yellow clothes, but your question was why he likes it. It's the supreme will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He likes yellow, he's got yellow. Yes, Prabhu.
Radharani's color is a golden color, so that's why he's always thinking about Radharani. That's why he's
You know what, that might be the wonderful answer. Srimati Radharani is golden in color, so he's always wrapped in the consciousness of Srimati Radharani. So I think we are running out of time there. Okay, one more question.
Quick question. In regards to the creation of the spiritual world you mentioned, maybe I misunderstood. Does Balaram maintain it, or does he create it, or what is he, I know he maintains it, obviously, right? Because of the hoods and he carries so many things. Yeah. What is is there such a thing as creation of the spiritual world?
So, to answer your question, we reviewed this on Friday, exact same topic. So, I would kindly refer you to Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 20, verse 255 to 258, where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is explaining this conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatan Goswami, where he says the origin of the material and spiritual world is from Lord Shankarshan, and then he goes on to explain in the third verse from this 255 to 52, and then he says there is no question, he clarifies, he explains it further, there is no question of creation of the spiritual world, but the spiritual world manifests by the supreme will of Lord Balaram.
Okay, that makes sense now.
So that is wonderfully explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada ki Gaur Premanande.
Radha Gopi Vallabha ki jai, Gopinath Swami Baladev Madhusubhadra ki jai, Lakshmi Vivaka Singh Bhagwan ki jai, Gaur Nitai ki jai, Srila
Samsara
Madhurya Leela Guna Rupa Nama
Hare
जय नमो विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रभुपादाचार्य श्रील एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की फौंडर ISKCON विभिन्न श्रील अवैतनारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय नमो नित्यानंद प्रवेश परमहंस प्रभुपादाचार्य श्रील भक्तिवेदांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर रंगमय की जय रंगमय की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपनाथ राधा कृष्ण गोविंद की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा में की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय पार्वती धाम की जय रुद्रधाम की जय पूरी धाम की जय प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर साधु गौर भक्त की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय राम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय श्री श्री राधा गोपी वल्लभ की जय श्री श्री राधा गोपी वल्लभ की जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह की जय भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जय समवेद भक्त वल्लभ की जय गौ सीताराम प्रेम all glories to somebody, all glories to somebody, all glories to somebody, all glories to Guru and Gaurav, Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev. Lord Baldev appearance day ki jai.
Namaste Narasimhayo, Namaste Narasimhayo, Namaste Narasimhayo. Hare
Balaram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let's start off by thanking Mother for a wonderful purport on why Lord Krishna wears yellow dhoti. So on behalf of ISKCON Scarborough, I would like to welcome each one of you, especially the devotees who are here for the very first time or maybe relative newcomers. Shri Radha Gopi Vallabha ki jai, Lord Nitai ki jai, Jagannath Balaram Subhadra ki jai, Nashmade Bhagwan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, and the Kodi Vaishnava ki jai. So we'd like to welcome Prabhu, who's right at the back. Kumar, our DJ is there and his friends, so let's chant one Hare Krishna for them. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Prabhu and the group were the DJ for our Jagannath festival last year, and this year also they will be the DJ for this wonderful program. Hare Krishna. And as you know, last year it was a grand success, and the main lifeline of the program is the sound system, and Prabhu and the group wonderfully organized that last time. So again, we thank you for that, and we would like to have your association again this year on September 6th. Thank you. And we would also like to thank our core group here, Bhavamalini, Mother, and Paripurnadas, Prabhu, and the other devotees who are making this Krishna fan club a wonderful success. So Krishna Fan Club is a program for the children which takes place every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And this is 4 weeks now is gone by, and it's a 12-week program, and it will be extended based on the interest of other devotees. So again, we'd like to wholeheartedly thank the core devotees who are making this a grand success. There's a lot of sacrifice involved in making this happen, especially to deal with a lot of kids. It's not an easy task. So again, we'd like to thank you for spearheading that, and the other devotees who are supporting Mother for that. Hare Krishna. Upcoming programs, 17th of August, which is next Sunday, is one of the biggest events as far as the devotees of Lord Krishna are concerned. Is the appearance day of Lord Krishna. So it's called as Janmashtami. We will be fasting till midnight. This takes place on Sunday. But we do have a Sunday program in the morning, just like we do have today. So next week will also be a wonderful Sunday program, and we will have the association of two exalted devotees, two wonderful disciples of ISKCON founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and their names are His Grace Gauradas Prabhu and His Grace Karyapani Prabhu. Everybody is coming from UK especially. So we'll have a wonderful association of 2 senior disciples of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So even though we will not have a grand feast next Sunday at this time, because we'll be fasting till midnight. For devotees who have health issues, or for devotees who are coming here for the very first time, we will have some prasadam available. But devotees, we will be fasting till midnight next Sunday. So the program is starting at 10:30 as we usually do every Sunday. So please pass this message along to your family and friends so that we get all your association, so that we can associate with these 2 wonderful Vaishnavas who will be coming to ISKCON Scarborough next Sunday. And the following day after next Sunday, which is Monday, which is 18th of August, is the appearance day of ISKCON founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So as we know, without Srila Prabhupada coming to the West, all of us will not be in this room on this Sunday. Maybe few of us will be in prohibited areas. So we are all here together. You know, when you look around, this is the most fascinating part, because it's called as International Society for Krishna Consciousness. As you can see, you know, we are all from different countries: India, Sri Lanka, Guyana, so many countries. All of us are there together, not just in ISKCON Scarborough, but in Toronto and so many other temples. Just fascinating. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, this is possible. So this is one of the most important days in the calendar of all the devotees, which takes place next Monday, not tomorrow, the next Monday, 18th of August. And there will be a grand celebration in ISKCON Toronto. But we will be fasting till noon on that day. And we will be celebrating not just the grand feast which we missed on Janmashtami Day, which is on 17th, and the program that we will not be having on 18th, because many of us will be in Toronto Temple. The grand feast is scheduled on the 22nd of August, which is a Friday. So the grand feast on 22nd of August. Srila Prabhupada ki. So we'll have some audio video presentation as well. If possible, we'll try to get some Prabhupada's disciples on that day to give their realizations. But definitely we'll have some audio video presentation on Srila Prabhupada, and especially some of the videos that we have of Srila Prabhupada being extolled by these great disciples. So we'll have a wonderful program scheduled for 22nd August, which is Friday, starting at 6:30 p.m. Couple of more days to remember quickly. 23rd of August, which is Saturday. It's the second Festival of Chariots conducted by ISKCON Brampton. So we will all go together in full force to support them as well, because we need to work together. There's a wonderful organization in ISKCON Brampton. They pulled off a grand festivities last year. So they will be doing wonderful programs this year as well. And our own Radha Murari will be part of that. They confirmed that. So I'd like to acknowledge the contribution of our group. Radha Murari will come a long way, and they are there in all the wonderful programs. ISKCON Toronto, Vatiyatra, not just in Canada, not just in Ontario, but in USA.
Yeah.
So they're progressing very well. So on behalf of ISKCON Scarborough, we'd like to thank the Radha Murari group, and any donation they get for their performance, they are giving it to ISKCON Scarborough as well. So we'd like to thank Radha Murari group for the wonderful sacrifice. They've been practicing a lot. So this 23rd of August is ISKCON Brampton's second Festival of Chariots during the day. And in the evening, we have an important event right here. So 23rd of August, which is the Snan Yatra, which is a precursor. So Snan Yatra is a precursor to the second festival, Jagannath festival, that we'll be conducting on September 6th. So I want everybody to be excited. That's I thought everybody's going to stand and dance. You know? The second Jagannath festival.
No, they're in ecstasy, you know, so they can.
So September 6th, and we welcomed our DJ. So we would like to welcome all of you to this wonderful program on September 6th in Milliken Park. On that same note, we would like to unveil the flyer for this wonderful festival. And as the flyer makes its way here, we have an overview of our ISKCON Scarborough's annual Jagannath Festival. And a flyer that you see now, a similar flyer will be going out. Shri Radha Gopi Balaram ki jai. So before we unveil the flyer, this is a small flyer that you see here, Jagannath Festival, with all the program details, date and time and address, will be distributed by Canada Post to over, last time we said 5,000. To over 5,000 households. This flyer will be distributed, and at the back you can see the sponsors. So this is just a tiny drop of sponsors who have come forward at this point in time. But since these sponsors have come forward, there are many other sponsors who have come forward as well. And their name and address and contact details will be going at the back of these flyers, so they get benefit as well, because these flyers will be distributed to over 5,000 households. So this is a sample flyer, but this is not the end product, as we are getting more sponsors. And this is another flyer that will be going out door to door. So this is what we are unveiling today. You can see Jagannath temple right at the back with this chakra you can see in the background. So everybody gets the benefit, spiritual benefit of getting this flyer at home as well, because they get Jagannath Puri's Jagannath temple, which is timeless background. And again, this is our flyer. A list of sponsors will be at the back. So this will be filled out in the next few weeks. We have a target date of in another, I think, 2 weeks. By that time, we'll finalize all the list of sponsors, and that will go out to all the households as well in and around Scarborough area. And so as we're getting the board to give you more information, how can we forget one person who was instrumental in making this first Jagannath festival a grand success? Our own Manmohan Prabhu here. The wonderful rath that he created, which is still well maintained and available, Vishwakarma of ISKCON Scarborough. And he's going to make some modification and enhancements and upgrades to this rath. And that is going to take place in the next few days. So you will see a wonderful rath available on September 6th. So again, on behalf of ISKCON Scarborough, we wholeheartedly would like to thank him by chanting one Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for him and his family. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So what we have come up with is, some of the devotees were asking us, what are the various sponsorship opportunities that are available for this 2014 Jagannath Festival, which is our second annual Jagannath Festival.